So now it's time for our featured story of the night. Even though it's a very obscure character that's coming to the screen again, but I want to talk about the Blue Beetle trailer that just came out. So Blue Beetle is launching soon, and they've got the very first trailer. We haven't seen anything about this, really. I mean, there have been some stills from set, and, you know, it's like little things. I know that it was supposed to be an HBO Max movie, and they liked it so much, they changed it to a theatrical edition now. So it wasn't ever supposed to be in theaters, but it's done so well. Different from Batgirl, where Batgirl like just never got to see the light of day now because there's like, it's like a CW movie. We don't want that, which sucks for them. But I was actually pretty excited about this movie. I thought the special effects looked great. I don't really know much about the character, but I thought he looked badass. He's kind of like an Iron Man in his own right, but he's like a kid too, and it's a kid from Karate Kid, and he's kicking ass, and you know, which made sense to me. The fact that he can form like swords and shit out of nothing, that was awesome. The scene where he transforms alone, I thought that was fucking epic. And the way they showed the whole thing, of course they had to show the whole thing because they knew how epic it was, and the fact that it's just like, you know, it's grounded in this kid's world. But I gotta say, one thing I was like, what? Why does he have like a bat cave all of a sudden? And he has like, you know, and he has like his own Beetleborg type flying machine out of nowhere. I'm like, is this? It felt like big bad Beetleborgs to me sometimes, a little bit. And I was just like, how does he get that? Because they're like, oh, you got the scarab in this like little, you know, burger box, and that's all you have. And you're running from people, but then now you have. I feel like maybe they just gave too much away in the trailer because a lot happens in this movie, apparently. Apparently, he forms a whole team in this. All of his family gets involved. They're flying around. He doesn't even need a Beetleborg flying shit, but it still looks good. But I'm just like, he doesn't need that shit. He already flies. The moment he put this in, what's the fucking outer space? And you know what I mean? But I'm like, cool, I guess. Whatever, DC, let's do this. You know, I'm down. Lexi, being a DC fan, are you excited about this trailer perk your interest? Or are you like, why the hell are we doing this character?
It looks excellent. I think it's a really good character to go with. He's a Hispanic character,
which is great.
Awesome. It's good to get some representation out there. He's a wonderful Hispanic character, so you know, it's once again good representation. So the casting is excellent. They went with the kid from Cobra Kai. He's a really good actor. I like him. I think he's going to do fantastic in this role. I think it's a perfect role for him. He's good at like doing that, like, oh, what is this new thing that's happening kind of thing, and like being like, you know, kind of like confused by it but able to adapt to it kind of thing, and like does a good job of doing that. So he's really good at like that kind of role. I've seen him do it in Cobra Kai. He's doing it here.
He's
again.
great in Cobra Kai.
So and like, did you like that they used the Cobra Kai font for the Blue Beetle font?
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, totally.
Good 100%. Pickup, Lexi.
Yeah,
good pickup.
That's a great pickup.
Like, oh, I see. You they borrowed your font for your other TV show. Good job.
Just tying that in.
There's you know, I think like that's the one thing that I keep going back to is I'm like, I think this film's got just amazing representation, good casting, good all that kind of stuff, which it's not trying to force anything, and I think that's really important to like realize in that is that it's not, you know, set in a time period or any kind of that. It's a modern day story, you know, done with like proper ethnic kind of characters without trying to be stereotypic or any of that kind of stuff. I think it's like doing it really well, and I'm really excited for that. They did take away the fact that Blue Beetle is a symbiotic creature. He's not tech. He is like bonds to the kid, and the kid's kind of stuck with him, and so they're forced to work together. And so there is a consistent like love-hate relationship between the Beetle and the child. So they have to like fight with each other a lot. And I don't know how that dynamic's going to work.
Is it kind of like Moon Knight then, in a way?
No, it's a little different than, like I was saying, like he's kind of not really like any character that's out there. It's more like a bunch of character traits that you're familiar with all kind of stuck together that inadvertently creates its own original character. Like, it's nothing you haven't seen before, but it's also not based on anything you've seen before, so inadvertently it just kind of is its own thing. But he's also a Teen Titan, and if you're familiar with any of the more modern Teen Titans, they make him join the Teen Titans so that he can learn how to work with his powers, because his powers are really hard to control. So he has to figure this shit out, and it's one of the most difficult powers to adapt to because it's a symbiotic creature that doesn't want to work with you. So it's an interesting take. The costume design, spot on, flawless. Like they
It
got
looks
that
great.
costume like down pat, like everything is down exactly where it needs to be. The costume change thing was done really well. So all the effects look really great. The casting is great. I am extremely excited for this. I think they've done this like perfectly, and it's going to fail.
You think it's gonna fail? You think it's gonna
Yeah.
fail?
Yeah, they did it perfectly. Anytime they do it right, it fails. Like I don't know why. I don't have an answer for you because here's the thing: it's not a familiar character.
Yeah.
It's been done flawlessly and to the point. Everything about it is right where it needs to be. It's not going to do well. What do you want from me? Like, do you really think it's going to succeed? It's DC. It's not like all the pieces are there. Like,
They're all there.
I've had these conversations before. Like, I watch this shit all the time, and I'm like, how come this one succeeds, but this one doesn't? All the pieces are there, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't think of a good example of it, but it's like, why did this superhero movie fail, but this superhero movie succeed, when they're literally the same fucking thing? And I'm like, I enjoyed this one, and I didn't enjoy this one. And I'm like, but this one succeeded, but I didn't enjoy this one because I felt like it was more of the same, whereas this one felt fresh and original and new to me. And you didn't like this one because what? It was just fresh and original and new, or like what? Like you just want more Batman? Like you don't want Blue Beetle? You know what I'm saying? Like
They make
Batman
jokes about
does
Batman
well.
in it, too.
Batman, like you'll watch more Batman, you'll watch more Superman, you'll watch more of the same shit over and over and over. Like you'll watch the same Iron Man again, Iron Man over and over and over. But it's like when I give you the same fucking, when I give you the new hero, the new hotness, the new different kind of
You don't want
interesting new, but it's the same shit. Like the same, it's a guy in a robot costume doing kind of like the same kind of shit, going around, flying around, blowing shit up, and it's all, you know, fresh and original and interesting. Like people don't give a shit about it. And it's like I don't know what people want anymore. Like I don't know how like to figure out like any of the system of how things function or flow and the ebb and flow of what is going to succeed and what isn't, because it's like IP, like young people don't want any of this shit. This stuff's all for us. It totally is. All these movies are for millennials and boomers, so it's like because
giving us a taste of their childhood.
Well, because we're the nostalgia generation, so we're the only ones that are investing in any of this kind of stuff. Gen Z doesn't watch movies. If you spend time with Gen Z and really talk to them and really get to know them, they don't watch movies. They don't care about this stuff. They are on TikTok. They're on YouTube. They're engaging with media in a completely different way than we're engaging with media. So they're not watching superhero shit and Marvel movies, and they're not watching television at all.
They should be. They should be. They're part of the problem.
They
not
would
friends
be.
of the show.
They would be if the studios were marketing it towards them. They're not marketing any of this for it. They're marketing it for us.
Or if it was treading any new ground too.
Right.
Like,
so
like I'm glad you brought up Iron Man because I got such a big Iron Man vibe from the trailer, right?
100%.
Even him talking to the Scarab itself was very much Tony talking to the AI. And it was just like, even, you know, there was a little heads-up display in there. Like, we've seen this stuff before, and they weren't doing anything new to kind of, like, really, like what you said, like, focus on what makes this character unique and an individual.
Which it's a symbiotic alien. Why didn't you focus on it being a symbiotic alien?
Exactly.
Why didn't you focus on that relationship that he has with the alien and how he tries to bond with it? Because he can't make the suit work until he can learn to work with it. He can't control it. It's not about controlling it. He doesn't control it. He has to have it like him and make him, you know, that's a good film. That's a good film right there. Learning to work with something.
Yeah.
You know, learning to work together. It's about learning to work together with somebody to be able to accomplish a goal instead of learning to figure out how to make your tech work for you. That's not really like that super interesting. Like that's what this movie is going to be, making the tech work for you, right?
Yeah. Well, here's my question though. I want to ask Sean this. Sean, do you think that it's going to fail? You think Lexi's right that it's not going to do well? Because Lexi's right a lot of ways. It's like not your typical hero. It's not Iron Man. It's not Captain America. It's not for them Batman or Superman. So it's like, will people go out to see this? Or will it just be a flash in the pan? Like they were going to do HBO Max initially, but they believe in it enough to put it in theaters. So are they making are they messing up by doing this?
I think if they learned any lessons from Shazam 2's failure,
Shazam!
this movie cannot fail.
Can't.
I don't think it can. I think like hopefully they've learned their lessons with what made Shazam 2 a failure. They've addressed those issues. Hopefully they're doing more on the marketing front and targeting this movie to get it to the generations or the people that need to see this movie. I don't think it can. I really want it. I want to see it do well. I care for the character. Just because I'm a Marvel guy doesn't mean I don't like the DC people.
I really want it to succeed
I want
as
to
well.
see it succeed. I don't want it to fail, and I'm hoping that DC, especially when you consider the new slate of everything coming down the pipe with Gods and Monsters and James Gunn's whole thing, like I just let them do something right for once.
Yes, please.
And I really
I want it to succeed because I want this kid to keep playing Beetle.
Yeah.
Because
I think he's perfect casting.
Absolutely perfect casting for that role. I don't want to see them switch him out. So it's like there's a lot of people that right now who have been cast very well in DC who I don't want to see get switched out for some of these roles. So it's like if we can try to maintain some of these actors in some of these roles, it would be really nice to see this kid maintain this. I haven't even seen him like in the film itself yet, but just from the trailer I can already tell you perfect casting, because I'm familiar with Teen Titans well enough to know this character, that this is like perfect, like spot on. I was like, yes.
And I finally saw Shazam over the weekend. I went and saw it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. There is weird unicorn section where they're riding like black evil unicorns, which was like, I'm like, I don't know why we're doing this, but the unicorns were evil, but they were also the good evil unicorns. It was really weird. And honestly, I think the biggest disconnect with that movie for me is like the way Zachary Levi plays it compared to how the kid plays it. Like the kid plays him very serious. Like he's a very adult 17, 18-year-old, right? And then Zachary is like this big kid, like bumbling and stuff. So I feel like the direction was kind of wrong there. However, the guy who directed it should have had them be the same, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't really make sense for him to regress when he gets older. You know, if anything, he should become more mature. It just seems weird to me. But he did that in the first one anyways, and that balance just seemed even more off this time to me. But overall, I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. I really didn't. But, you know, the fact is people didn't want to see it, you know? It just and he said some shit before it came out. So that's also like that stops it, you know?
He didn't
it
do himself any favors.
Shot himself in the foot. I don't know if he'll be back. I really don't know if he'll be back. Who knows? And again, he's one of those people that'll probably just be gone now, you know? He thought he was good and he was golden. He would stay, but probably not.
Which is
Shazam.
First Shazam was excellent.
It was great. Yeah. And it
that
had
was
a lot of.
That was the best DC movie, hands down, that I had seen. Like hands down.
AP Productions is saying this sounds like Venom, Blue Beetle. I guess there is this inner struggle too. It's the same kind of deal, your inner voice, except Venom's a symbiote, as they say on the movies, instead of symbiote. But you know, that's each their own how you pronounce it. But yeah, I still like the Venom movies. I think they're fun.
Oh,
I just say that. I think they're fun. That guilty pleasure right there. Hey, we're Tron friends. We're Tron friends.
It's fair. We have Tron United.
Sean, do you like Tron?
Oh yeah,
like
heck yeah.
Okay.
I like Tron.
There we go.
Who's got a bad thing to say about Tron?
Almost everybody.
Oh, no.
Sabrina for sure. Almost everybody that's been on here hates Tron, except us two. And so like we're holding on for the Tron friends. But but Blue Beetle is coming out. I'm excited about it. I think we all think it looks good, but the thing is,
I'm excited.
Will it do well? That's the end of the day. Will it do well? Only time will tell. It's coming out this summer. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be good. I'm hoping. It looks great.